already know it's time to have conversations with Ruha. I have my homegirl, Yaminah Israel with me. How are you today, Yaminah?
I am doing very well. Looking forward to conversation with you in with Ruach, with spirit. So yeah, it's a good day. It's been a good day, and I'm well right now and ready to go.
Amen. I'm happy that we showed up. We're just a little bit, but guess what? We're here. Tonight we're going to be talking about being enough. Because as I was telling Yamina, I go up and down these timelines, either on Instagram or Facebook, and I see all of the young ladies wanting a boyfriend, wanting this and wanting that, and not even realizing what they have is enough. What they already have obtained, the things that they have already manifested in life are enough for them at this moment in time, and they are truly enough.
Okay, so um, how would you have someone understand what being enough means? Because that's not conversation that is usually being held or had every day. So we might be talking a foreign language. It might be like wonk wonk, being wonk wonk. What are you talking about? Because I know that I'm all that I can be. And so, what are you talking about being and being
Okay,
enough?
you said you already know that are you are enough, right?
True.
How many conversations have you had, honestly, with people that are very accomplished and are still bending over backwards to accomplish, like when is it going to be enough? And when are you going to see yourself as a finished masterpiece?
All right. Well, when society tells me that I've made it, that is enough. So I need someone else's validation to tell me that I am enough, that everything that I've accomplished means something, has value, is making an impact on someone. So when I get all the validation and I'm not feeling like, hey, there's still more that I can do, and so that's when I'm validated enough.
Now, doesn't the validation come through you?
The
Like I would
validation,
think that you are the source. You are the validator of who you are. You are the validator of what you bring to the table, what your value is, what your knowledge that you have to give. You validate you because it's not even you. That's the key for me, that it's not even me that does these things. So I'm not going to disvalue my spirit to ask anybody else for validation outside of what's in me. I'm just not going to be able to do it.
well, the accolades and the rewards and the um, lifting up in the eyes of other people, that's a pretty strong drug. It keeps you pushing and feeling like you've got to do more and more and more and be more. And you're right. When you, again, every week, when you can tap into you, into your spirit, and realize that you were created enough, first of all, then you won't have that feeling that you need to just keep striving for more. And usually we end up running after things that we really don't even want to do or that does not feel right for us.
And we spoke about that earlier when I was saying I prior to a couple of years ago, I was doing things to kind of please other people. They saw the potential in me to do this or do that, knowing that that was not even in alignment with who I am. And so often I meet people that are not in alignment with who they are. Who you are is who you are all day, every day. It's not nothing to practice. It's freely flowing from you. It's just rushing out of you in every conversation that you have. It's nothing that has to be taught to you because the knowledge is just coming through you. You're saying what another person needs to hear at that moment. You're acting on something that your spirit is saying, well, do this or do that. You feel what I'm saying? But you're being you naturally.
Because spirit is you. You are spirit. Spirit knows you. And if you're operating from that space, then you are going to be you authentically. Take me, for instance. I show up in these public spaces, on social media, and everywhere without makeup. Because when you see me on a daily basis, I'm not made up. I mean, I do it when I feel like it, sometimes for special occasions, but I don't feel like it makes me look better. I think it enhances all the stuff that makeup is supposed to be hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's being me. And when I am feeling, I guess, like I have to impress people or please people or be like Jane, Jack, and Jill, that I have to put on the makeup. I wear my hair naturally. Um, and I pretty much say what I feel like saying, what feels like truth to me, actually.
And understanding that we're all
And
individuals.
with joy, excuse me,
Understanding that we're all individuals.
I
So
just
what is good for me may not be good,
absolutely.
for the next person. And just tapping into who am I? Not who does the world or society want me to be, but who am I? What makes me feel good? What brings me pleasure? What brings me joy?
Which are all important questions because when you are being authentically you, you do recognize the joy and the pleasure and the happiness. When you are pleasing others and trying to be something other than who and what you are naturally, you often don't feel good. The word disease, as in unhealthiness, to me means disconnected from the ease, disconnected from the source, disconnected from the good feelings, the well-beingness. So that to me is a sign, an indication. Again, as I've mentioned before in our conversations, it's about how you feel. So when you feel good in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, then those are signs to me that you are, as we're talking about being, you are being authentic. You're being true to you. And as mothers, as women, as nurturers, we have a tendency to want to please everybody, every time, in every situation. And the person that does not get nurtured and taken care of is more than likely, it is me. It is
The giver, the
the
giver,
giver, the
the one that
non-stop
doesn't,
giver.
the one that does not know how to rest, the one that does not know how to take care of itself, the one that wants to solve everybody's problems, the one that wants to do every freaking thing. And at some point in time, establishing within yourself, it is old freaking K to say no. It is old freaking K to live your best life, whatever your best life is, and really be grateful for what you have in your life. Because there's so many people that don't even have what you have. And you probably have more than enough to share and spare with other people because most of us are hoarders in the first place. Okay? We collect things because we feel these freaking voids, and there is no void in any of us. There is no lack in anyone.
And things will not fill the void. More and more and more and more does not fill the void. It just creates a voracious appetite to continue to search for more.
And
And
it will create this right here, a freaking headache. because now you have put something on your plate that you're not probably ready for.
And probably don't even truly really want. You've already said you don't need it because you have more than enough. So, yeah.
And being in that place of recognizing. I think I told y'all this beginning of the year, and I lost everything. I had to come back up on everything. I'm talking about when I was walking around here and there was no furniture in my house. I was recognizing everything I could touch until the furniture began to appear. I
Well,
was grateful for what I had, even though it didn't look like a lot to myself. But I realized that even in the moment where I was feeling lack, God was present help in the building. I didn't lack anything to eat. I didn't lack the lights, didn't lack the water. I could bathe. I had soap and lotions and all of these terrific things. Now, did I have a sofa? No, but I had 4 chairs, baby. I had 4 chairs and a blow-up mattress. And it was more than enough. My girlfriend gave me a blanket. Had a blanket and I had a pillowcase with some clothes in it. And I would lay my head on that and I envisioned myself on a pillow. But every freaking thing that I had, I saw God in every moment. In every freaking moment that I could brush my teeth. I got toothpaste, y'all. I got floss. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just walking around like a child, like really like a child, being grateful. I had to find myself in the land of being grateful for all of it.
gratitude. Gratitude is the biggest gift that we have that we can give to ourselves, that we can experience, because you have to be thankful for what you have, no matter what it looks like to the outside world, because you don't have to please anybody else. But it's Maslow's hierarchy. As long as we have a safe place to live, we got some food to eat, and we're feeling safe, you've got clothes to wear, those are the basic necessities of life. So if you got that covered, then you're good. And to be grateful that you have those things, your basic needs covered, is the gateway for all the blessings to just show up, because they're all here waiting and ready for us to be in gratitude for what we have and who we are right now in this moment.
Because who we are right now in this moment is enough.
Always enough.
It is enough for spirit to come through the vortex and begin dropping off some stuff for you. But you got to get grateful for what you have. I love that song. I'm living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with y'all. Because he talk about people living on their food stamp card, people living on, Section 8 or whatever they living on. And that is living the best life that you have available for you right now.
In the moment.
Not saying that you got to be there all of your freaking life. That's not what that song is about. It's about being grateful for what God has provided for you within the moment.
So important. There's no way of getting around it. And that's a part of what creates what we're talking about. When you don't have any gratitude, you cannot see what's in front of you. All you can see or think about is what you do not have in your space right now. That does not mean, like you said, that it will not come. But because you're living in a space where all you can think about is the lack, the deprivation, the and that brings up fears and doubts, and why don't I, why can't I, it brings up comparison, which is like the worst evil you can ever allow your being to feel or think about yourself, because you're lacking nothing.
And then you're beating up your body.
You're beating up all of you.
All of you. And it's no love in that. It's no love in mentally talking down on yourself or mentally taking yourself through an unnecessary transaction in life to please who? Who are you pleasing? And at the same time, who do you think really cares?
Most people don't. They ain't got time to think about what you are doing or having or how you are being, because they themselves are going
In
through
their own.
stuff.
In their own.
No matter what it looks like on the outside, you ain't never knowing what's going on in the inside,
That's
in
right.
my house, in my body, in my mind. Um, but you really can oftentimes know if you are just being who you are and just being aware of the words, of the actions, then you know.
Mhm.
But a lot of times we are that awareness piece, just being here now allows you to see things and hear things and understand things. But when you ain't got time to be here, you're everywhere else, and everything else seems real.
Well, I'm going to say this. The guy, I was talking today, and the guy asked me about what was the question? He said, "Oh, I know when you transcend, you going to heaven." I said, "Babe, I'm a citizen of heaven now. I live in heaven right now, right?" And so he looked at me like, "What?" Yes, because see, I don't live outside. I live inside, right? And that's a blessing within itself. And inside my home is my heaven. That is my peace. That is my joy. That is the thing that I put together. This is, you know what I'm saying? The I am of who I am, the presence of when you walk through these pearly gates, when you walk through these pearly gates, we in heaven. This is what my heaven is, you know?
Well,
And it's the presence of who I am in the decorations. It's the presence of who I am. Everything about what's in here has so much to do with who I am on the inside. So it's like an explosion of Latiska in my heaven. You know what I'm saying? This is my heaven. These are the things that bring me joy. These are the things that I love looking at, or I love feeling, or just being able to walk and you understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
And being okay with whatever your heaven is. And your heaven does not have to be someone else's heaven. In my father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would not tell you. Everybody don't even want a mansion.
hmm.
Okay? Some people want room. Some people want one bedroom. Some people want a studio. Everybody wants something different. But whatever your want is, it is fulfilled. It is given, and it is given according to the appreciation of what you already have. And I had to learn recently. Met this lady, and she gave me the best advice in the world, y'all. She said, "When you buy some, give some away."
Hmm.
And so I had never thought of that. I had this pile of clothes sitting in the middle of the floor talking about, well, I'm gonna get this stuff away. And I had went up under the cabinets pulling out old pots because some get me some new pots and stuff. I want nothing old, I want new stuff. And so I'm pulling out stuff, and it was just sitting in the middle of the freaking floor. But when she said that, okay, Latiska, you have the intention of taking it out the door, right? That was supposed to be your intention. But this been sitting on this floor for about 2 weeks, baby. You know what I'm saying? And becoming aware that evidently that wasn't the intention. It
Hmm.
sounded good, at that moment, but it took me to really realize I probably wasn't ready to let it go. But then I'm saying to myself, well, why am I not ready to let it go? Because I'm in overflow.
Uh-huh. And you already
Like,
said you
how
wanted
much do
more.
you need?
You wanted more. You didn't want what you had. That's why you were sorting it out and putting it in a pile here, putting it there. And so the lady lit the fire. She reminded you that
Yeah,
you
like let
wanted.
it go. Just
Let it
let it
go.
go. So I packed that stuff up, put it in the bag, and I went on to the Goodwill and I let it go. And I said, you know what? Everything, replace it. It can be replaced. You know what I'm saying? And I think my mother taught me how to hoard.
That's because a lot of us grew up. Well, I grew up in a single parent household, and you held on to everything that you can get your hands on. That's how
Mhm.
you made it all work. And I don't know if there was so much hoarding because there were five kids. So it just passed down from one to the next, like that.
Okay.
So there wasn't so much a lot of hoarding in our space.
Well,
but
I'm gonna say I was the only child, y'all.
oh,
But
okay.
my mother was a sibling of 7. And so they all kind of grew up together. And so her accumulating things passed over. But I never could understand why she wanted to accumulate all of this kind of stuff. So in 2000, and I think it was 2000, her house caught on fire, right? She lost just about everything. But everything that she could save, this lady saved furniture that had water, uh, you
Water,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Water damage,
Uh,
because she just did not want to let it go. And her feelings were so hurt because she felt like she had worked so much for this stuff and she didn't get nothing to replace it. And she had dementia, she had Parkinson's, and she would pull that stuff out every day at the same time. She had it all piled up in a little corner, but every day she would pull it out and put it on her bed and touch it and have all these memories. And I would let her go on, baby, you do you. You keep it right on there in that room. Don't you bring it up out that room.
right. Well, if she had dementia, it was a way of holding on to what she, like her thoughts that she couldn't always hold on to. So it was a way of bringing her back to her past and letting her remember what she had. So um, that
But
might
when you
help
do
her.
that, you don't realize what you have. When
Right.
you're looking at your past about what you had, you're not even in full awareness of what you have. And
That
I think that's what causes dementia and things like that. Like if we stay in constant awareness, there's nothing in the past that we need. It's nothing we can fix. It's nothing that was broken. It was none of that. You understand what I'm saying? So in this moment, in this total full awareness, what is in your past that you really have to take your mind there and you can fix? Nothing. You've
well, for
got
the
to
most
accept your
that's
past.
true. But
You
dementia is
know?
like a loss of memory, isn't it? Like not
They have like memory of the past and not so much of the present moment. And
okay.
see, that's where a
Right.
lot of us are. We
Okay.
constantly looking at the past till we can't even see the present moment. Like, what is really special about this freaking moment? What is the gift in this moment that you don't have to talk about? In 1990, I touched the field goal when I was playing football, and in 92, I had 17 cars, and my closet was full. What is, I'm happy for you. But right now, in this moment, none of those things exist. They only exist in your mind. It's time for you to let those things go because we're here. Really, we're here. And in this here right now moment, you have more than you probably had then,
No
right now.
doubt. No doubt. So I want to go back to what you were saying about you already live in heaven. So my understanding is that the earth was created for us, right? We
Mhm,
have everything here that we need created for
mhm,
us.
mhm,
And so this is paradise on earth. So you were talking about your peace and your space and your heaven within your own borders, but it's out in the world. It's like everywhere.
That's true. Now, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying for my personal self.
Hmm.
I don't live outside. I go outside. So you hear people talking about what's going on outside and it's so terrible and it's violent and everybody this and everybody that. I don't experience any of that because I
Not
don't have
in
any of those things in my
paradise.
consciousness. You
No.
understand? I don't experience it because I don't dwell on that kind of stuff. I don't really look at the news to kind of be aware of a lot of things. And so when it's not in your awareness, how can you even, there's no way for you to even think about it. So then you don't even experience that kind of stuff, right?
True. And even if you looked at the news for whatever random reason, then you can understand that that's not my world. That's not the world that I see every day,
Hmm.
world that I walk in. So that's what I'm talking about, like the broader picture. Like
Yeah.
we live in
And
paradise on earth.
in my world, all is harmony. Everything is working together. At 6:30, between 6:15, 6:30, I begin to hear the birds chirping. Everything comes to life, and then I listen to the music of the world. And as we wake up, I get to hear the noises and all of these things going on. And then at a certain time, I hear everything kind of dying back down. And I'm with the symphony of life, right? When I get into my abode, that means I'm no longer in the world. I'm in my own world right now, right? And even when I'm out in the world, I'm still a citizen of heaven. My abode is in heaven. So there's no way that I cannot be in heaven 24 hours a day.
Okay, so that's about that separation that we were talking about last week. It does not exist.
It
All
does not
one.
exist.
So inside your abode and outside in the world is still paradise, heaven on earth, unless you're not aware of that.
And it's what you make it. You know what I'm saying? If you're walking around and you have all these gloomy thoughts and everything is so terrible and it's such a dysfunction in life, that's probably what you're going to experience
That's exactly what you're going to experience.
until you have a shift in your own mindset, who you are and how you show up. 9 times out of 10, the world will show up and be that same thing to you. If you smile, the world will smile back. If you're walking around and you're unpleasant to even speak to, some people just walk around,
That scowl.
that serious look. I'm not saying you're an unpleasant person. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be, you're not open. It's saying to me that you're not open to even be engaged in a hello, that you're not even open to anything. It's like, well, this is how I'm made.
It's how you think. It's what's rolling around in that 6 inches between left ear and right ear. It's not how you're made, because you are and wonderfully knit together. That God knew you before He placed you in the womb and put a blessing on you. You just grew up to learn how to be like everybody around you who did not recognize that they were blessed and anointed. So, but that's not truly who you are. It's who you may have become. It's what you may have adopted, and most times not even knowing that you picked up stuff that other people were handing you down.
Or projecting onto you, or and just being in those energies of, I guess, when you're in those energies of the mindset of lack or needing something, then your awareness is not exactly where it should be. Like for me, oneness. Now, oneness to me is being one with all things, right? So I'm one with God, right? Not only am I one with God, I'm one with humanity. I'm balanced in my chakras. I'm loved inside and out. And it's not from an outside force. It's how I feel about me. I feel like I'm supported by the universe. I feel like I have more than enough. I feel like, like who can stop me if they wanted to stop me? They couldn't stop me because first I'm not running. I'm not running for anything. I'm not competing for anything. I am complete because in me is the presence. And when you become one with the presence, I think it's kind of like being a shaman or a monk. It's kind of like I don't need anything. I'm
Because
real.
the things are pleasant. The things, they help you to feel good, but bottom line, what you're saying, when you're balanced, when you are in touch with who you are and why and how you are at one with the divinity that is inside you, that's inside of me, that's inside of everyone. You are enough. You do have everything, and it shows up in your environment, in your home, in your sacred space, and when you're out in the world, when you're interacting with others. So that's more than enough, and you feel
And
it.
then being your own validator. I want you guys to begin to really validate yourself. You know, put it on your mirror. I don't put you on some sticky notes. I don't know what you have to do. Blessed in, blessed out by your front door. I don't know what you have to do, but you have to renew your mind on every freaking level, on every issue in life. Because if what you're feeling is not in total agreement with the presence of the creator in you, something is not in alignment. I don't know if it's your solar plexus, if you're feeling scarcity and lack. I know that's your root chakra, right?
Yes, from the base.
Yeah, because you should feel safe in any freaking environment. I don't care where you go. You should know that there's a presence in me. I will always be safe. And my intuition would tell me to get up, make a left, get up, get out of there, don't go there. And you have to follow the inner guide because the guide is constantly speaking to you. Ask the guide, what am I to do next? What am I learning right here? What is this experience about? And I promise you the answers will unfold from within.
Yes, and in terms of being guided, it's like not that you should leave home late, but if you leave 5 minutes later, then you see the car turned over on its side that you avoided
Mhm.
because spirit held you back from being
Yeah.
out there in that space. So again, we don't need to curse the things that happen to us. We just need to have a little awareness and gratitude and thanks because you're always being protected. You're always getting what you need. And awareness is like a big gift. It lets you see that um, you made that right turn when you thought you were going to make a left. It's all for a reason, you know.
Hmm.
So again, it's about finding that balance, finding that peace within you, and not, first of all, not trying to feel like you can control everything, which we control most things. We are in control. It's our right, our
Hmm.
responsibility to lead our lives, to lead who we are. But we're doing that. Like you see, some people have that sticker that says "God is my co-pilot."
Oh,
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's like you have a guidance system. You're not
yeah,
out here on your own.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And I do agree. I don't know about the co-pilot
yeah.
part.
Well, that's the thing that I see on like the
Yeah,
stickers. It's the things that some people may be able to relate to. But
and I'm going to tell you the ones that I see a lot. The God 1111. I see I am God. I see God a lot
okay,
on license plates. And I'm like, all right, I see you coming through. You showing us who you are. I see you. You know, self-knowledge is everything. When you know yourself, I ain't mad at you. You
it's a
know,
good thing.
yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah. And I guess that's when you're confident to just be.
Yes, it is, and that's when you are not confident being who you are, grateful for being who you are, then that's when that evil disease of comparison comes in. So when we're comparing ourselves to others who we feel are polished and have it all together, while yet not knowing that person deep inside, then we can't be satisfied. We can't be happy with what we have because we feel like somebody else has something that we don't, or that we don't have what they have, and it eats you up inside. It keeps you running and hunting and scratching and striving and not having any gratitude or any peace or appreciation for how blessed you already are. So
and
we
not having any rest.
no rest. That's no peace.
Get you some rest. Because if you run from sun up, the sun freaking down, know that it's gonna be the same program tomorrow because you may choose the same things that you chose today to do tomorrow. You're not even consciously becoming aware of what is the program and why is this program running. What am I proving with this program? Where is my date time, my me time, my massage time, my care for me time, my gardening time? Where's the time that I'm just going to sit in the sun for a few minutes or going to sit on my porch and watch myself breathe? Where is the me time? Why is everything so fast? Everything, and we want it like fast food, everything like in the microwave. Want it now, want it now, want it now, want it now. In your consciousness, it is now.
Well, when you
You
talk
are
about
waiting. Most of us are waiting for the manifestation to show itself, but consciously, you should know it's already done.
so as you talk about rest, that is pivotal. Like you said, where is the me time? Where is the moment for me to take a breath, to recognize who I am, how I am? And one big thing about rest for me is, God created the earth and everything in it in 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested. So I observe a Sabbath. One day a week, I shut down everything. My week ends on Friday, sunset. All day Saturday, it is about reflecting, it's giving thanks, it's tuning in with God. It's like building that relationship, developing that intimacy, and letting the world do what it do until sundown on Saturday. Full dedicated day of rest, day of appreciation, day of gratitude, day of thankfulness. I do that for me. I do it because God said, and he rested on the seventh day. And that's a
Mhm,
covenant that he made with us, that all is well and it is
mhm,
good. So we don't give ourselves 20 minutes to rest. Imagine having a full day. And that helps my life. It rejuvenates me. It like fills me with peace, fills me with joy. It allows me to recognize who I am and to definitely be aware of my blessings. And
mhm,
so, if I can offer anybody anything, find yourself a day of rest. And if you have to build up to it in increments of 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, give yourself
mhm,
some dedicated time. Time for you to connect with your creator, time for you to spend time with the source of everything, with who you are, where you come from. So that's a little piece of advice I have.
And then I'm gonna tell you, I don't necessarily do a Sabbath. I've been thinking about a Sabbath. My peace comes from when I first awaken in the morning. I don't know why I wake up between 3:30 every morning, right?
I do too.
And so I wake up, excited about life, thank you. I'm in the gratitude state of mind. And all of this beautiful stuff begins to flow for me, right? It just begins to flow. So I'll push the button up. A lot of the times now, we'll tell the truth, I'll just be speaking it. And then someone say, well, hit the podcast button. Don't hit the button, right? And so I'll hit the button and I'll do a podcast on Anchor, on Spotify. And so from that point, I'll sit back down and rest because that flow, you understand what I'm saying? That flow, it gave energy, but it also balanced, even though it was giving, it was pulling part of me with it, if that makes sense. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was flowing through me easily.
Hmm.
Latiska's consciousness had to get out of the way of it, right? For it to flow and be clear. So after the flow is over, the Tiska's consciousness sometimes gets in the way. You understand what I'm saying? She get in the way, and then she'll begin to start all this thinking and pouring on. So then I sit down and I make sure that I'm quiet because there's nothing going on in this moment for us to be having these thoughts. I'm always aware of what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna say always, but I try to pay attention. Put it like that.
Mhm.
I try to stay in the moment. So when thoughts begin to come that have nothing to do with the moment, I get still because where are you taking me?
Hmm. I know you.
There's no place for me to go. It's no place I need to be at 4:30 in the morning. Why am I double dutching? Why is my mind telling me, well, get up and do this, and you get up and do that, and well, you got time to do this, this. Well, then by the time I get to work, babe, I'm gonna be tired.
So do you stay up the whole time? I think I heard you say you go, well, you sit down and you start looking at the thoughts. But for me, I wake up during that time and I give thanks and I'm like, okay, well, what is it you wanted me to know? I don't get up and
Yeah,
do Spotify
That's
or
where
anything
the
like that.
that's where the Spotify comes in. Whatever you wanted me to know, guess what? I'm putting it on the podcast. Let me just go on and tell the people, okay, this is what spirit talking about today. Bam. I'm just gonna push go. And the one thing I do love about it, you just push the button, y'all. And when you push the button, you begin to record. So it's not like you have to set up nothing and put in no title. You put in the title and everything after the fact. So I love doing that podcast. You just push the button and just begin talking.
And you don't even have to get up and get dressed.
At all. Not at all. And you just get on there and you're just talking. You have your full blown moment. And sometimes I do it at night, like if I'm in the bed and I'm not sleeping and I come out of meditation and my mind is very clear and there's something that spirit has to say, baby, I push that button and I begin talking. Because it's not me that's talking, and I understand. At the same time, I know that this stuff is flowing through me for a reason, not just for me to keep it. It's not for me to hold on to it. The more I have, the more I set free, the more I can be given.
All right. Downloads, they come to you, for you, and through you.
Mhm.
And that's how it happens. And the thing is, like you get up and you take immediate action by doing your podcast or Spotify. I usually journal mine.
Mhm.
Just mine. I just something about that paper and pen thing.
And
That's
that's good. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that away because I have paper and pen sitting by my bed in case I have a dream and I got to write it down real quick.
got
I
you.
do that as well. Or like if I ask myself a question at night, and as soon as because in between that sleepy state, just now waking up, that state right there, everything is made clear within that moment. You got to be able to catch it. So I have paper and pen sitting beside my bed, but I also have the phone right there on Spotify. So I can push that freaking button and I can just say what it is Spirit is saying through me because I know it's not just for me. It's for everybody that I come in contact with. It is not just right now information. It's ancient information. It's reserved information that's flowing through me. And so it's given to me in this moment for maybe what happened or what is about to happen. But at the same time, whatever it is I may be experiencing, as I let it loose on earth, someone else may be able to catch it at the same time. Because again, we'll write things down and just keep them on paper. Why not set the words free?
That is so true. Being the vessel. Being
Yeah, just
the
be
vessel.
it. Just
Just
be it.
yeah.
And then it takes away all of that. Well, I'm gonna write it, and then one day I'm gonna make a book, and you're really not even trying to do the book. You know what I'm saying? Because you haven't sat down on that Sabbath day or on a particular day and made up in your mind, well, this is the day that I'm going to put my book together. I'm going to title each chapter, and I'm going to pull from this notebook this, and I'm going to pull. If you've never decided to do that, the best, easiest, creative way, I would say do it is go on and make a podcast. You could turn your podcast into a freaking blog. The podcast itself will turn it into a blog just by your own words. And so now you have created a stream of income that stream through you freely. But when you're in the way and you're thinking about how to create a stream of income and you're doing it in such a hard way, you're not even making it easy on yourself.
Well,
God has provided all of these things to make things easy to get. That's just like social media. It's how you use it. What are you using it for? You can use it to be the lighter, you can use it to be the darkness, you can use it to be foolish if you want to. You can be, you can be a comedian, however you want to use it, but use it for the greater good of humanity. Use whatever gift God has placed in you. Make sure you position it where you can be eternal and leave it behind for other people that may not be able to receive it on this day or tomorrow, but maybe 10 years from now. You are eternal when you do things.
that is true. And again, no matter what your mode is, like how you express, it's all about, again, being authentically you and doing you and being you. I'm the writer, I write.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's my mode. Yours is hit that easy button and let it flow right now. Let it happen. And you've just shown how easy it is to be the creator. I mean, we are the creator and we're always creating. And because God is flowing to, through, and for us and for humanity, just being aware that you're being blessed. And yes, when God knock on your consciousness at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's like, okay,
Mhm.
what now?
And
So
even I'm gonna give you another little hint for people that are writing books. Even if you had your laptop at 3 o'clock in the morning where consciousness is just pouring through you, hit dictation on your keyboard.
hmm,
Speak to your computer.
that's a good one. Well, I've also started using Siri. I'm like, hey, Siri, make me a note. And she says, what do you want the note to say? And
Mhm.
then she'll repeat back to me, I made you a note. And at first, when I started doing that, it felt kind of weird. It's like, what the hell? It felt kind of scary, like, but it's technology. It's the world we live in. Use all the tools.
Use them all and use them all for your greatest good and for the listener's greatest good. That's that's just how I see it, you know. And at the end of the day, the podcast is copyrighted. You own it. So even if you pull the stuff that you have spoken into the podcast out of the podcast and put it in a book, guess what? You can.
It's yours.
It's
It's
yours.
yours. Yeah. The minute
And
you
so,
document it any kind of way, it's trademarked. It's
it is
copyrighted, rather.
a freaking gift. And it's how you use your gifts. God has given us ways to do great works, great, magnificent works, and to be as expansive as our minds will allow us to be. And you've got to understand if you do not expand your mind to a different type of awareness to how many streams of income are possible for me to make within this lifetime. How much expansion is there for me within this lifetime? How open can I be in this lifetime compared to other lifetimes of me being here? And we talk about the soul's journey. A lot of us are ancient
Hmm.
people, ancient souls. And so we live through torture. We live through, criticism and being born, burnt at the stakes and all of that because we were witches. And so you see how it's so easy to walk in that fear because of technology. You know that the ancient part of you that comes out during that time of the morning may express itself in a way that it may not be easily accepted, easily received. But at the same time, you got to have confidence in that you're safe, you're fine. There's nothing that can. The past is that. That's just coming through your blood. Right now, this is a whole nother place.
Well,
You
it's
know.
that trusting and believing in that God space inside of you in which you are protected. And so, God ain't gonna lead you to something that ain't working for you. We do that on our own. So it's
Mhm.
trusting and believing. It's trusting and believing in that quiet voice, in the inspiration, in the download, in the guidance, in the gift. Um, which again, if we don't get up when we wake up and something's coming to us, then we're gonna miss it.
Mhm.
And
And I used to play this. I used to play this one too, y'all. Oh, I'm gonna remember
you don't remember. But if it's
it.
meant for you, you will
It will come back.
it will come back, but you don't remember. It's like you said, keeping a pad and pencil by your bed for the dream because you could never go to the bathroom before you get there. It's gone. You'd be like, but it was so vivid. It was so real. It meant so much, but now it's
Mhm.
gone. So yes, we have to capture the blessings and the miracles when they show up, and they are always showing up.
And I have to remind myself to say this. I have a brilliant mind. I have a mind that could do total recall at any time because now I'm aware that I could be in the street and somebody asks me for some information that I haven't even thought about in 150 years. It will come straight to me. So if it can happen in that instant, I can do a total recall within myself now because the subconscious mind is like a freaking Rolodex. It remembers every freaking thing. It's only my conscious state that says I can't remember. But then that's a lie, or excuse me, an untruth, because when you're God, you know all things. It's an unforgettable thing. But that's when you see how we attach ourselves to the consciousness, but then we take ourselves away. And see, to totally be in pure conscious state that I am freaking God. How could I forget anything? That's a taught something that we heard people say. With child, I'm getting older, so I don't know nothing about that. And separating myself from that because no, I really don't know anything about that. I've worked hard to be where I am, to take 75 steps back because I done touched and agreed with something that I heard 30 years ago.
Mm.
Because my mother or somebody said it and I saw how forgetful they were. But at the same time, I knew that they didn't know who they were. Hello, somebody.
The difference makes the difference, I tell you.
So when you are always aware that I am that I am, which is the great I am, a lot of the things that we say in our human form is not a eternal truth.
Again, that learned behavior, and it becomes so comfortable for us. It becomes like uh, a part of who we are, which is not the part of who we are that we really need to be attaching ourselves to.
Mhm. And being aware of it. Like I see myself slipping in and out of consciousness.
It's so easy to do. It's because, we're out here being bombarded by everything. That's why we need to take that time, and just reflect and to remind ourselves of who we are so that we're not having all those lapses and
Mhm.
forgetting about who we are.
And I even thought of I, I talked about disapana. It's a thing that you can do where you go into this meditation camp and there's no, you are surrounded by people, but there's no interaction there. And you're just meditating all day. So I think about stuff like that. Like I would actually take a vacation and do something like that or go to a temple and just see how present the present is.
See how long you can keep your mind open and clear and in the receiving mode, as opposed to all the thoughts just, that would be nirvana, when you actually are in control of all the thoughts, or how they flow, or yeah, just having that control, so that.
And being the water. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you're God, you know you're all there is. So in when you're all there is, there's only love in that conscious state. That's like it's only Latiska right now, right? And so Latiska is every viewer.
Right.
Everything is Latiska. So when I'm interacting with people, I always say to myself, I'm talking to me.
Because you are.
I'm I'm speaking my truth to me. I'm being honest to me. I'm loving me enough not to be in competition or not to project on something other than my wholeness and happiness, my joy, my peace, my my splendid self, my identity, my ID is me. You know,
That's because you are a blessing. We all are blessings to each other. Again, that's being the vessel, allowing who you are to come through, shining your light so that others are comfortable being in their light, and recognizing that they too are a vessel, to reach out and touch someone else's spirit, to, for whatever reason, give someone else permission that they don't feel like they have, to be, to be who they are, to recognize their brilliance, to recognize their uniqueness, to recognize your blessedness. Um, and again,
and
they
just being a masterpiece. You know, it's only one you. You could
uniquely
have
you.
17 children, and none of those children will be like you, and they won't even be like one another. And that is the magnificent thing about the creator. The creator is a one-time thing. You know what I'm saying? This is who I created you to be, and this is where I placed you, and this is where, and this is how I see you. And then when you begin to see yourself the way God really sees you,
There
not
you go.
feeling the void, not feeling the lack, but actually seeing yourself as God sees you, whole and complete and
Whole and
abundant
complete.
and prosperous and, and growing and glowing and, being your beautiful self. That is the most amazing part of life. Like, it's not a huge requirement
And it fills you with love, like love of yourself. And when you love yourself, you can love others, because
because you accept yourself.
you accept yourself.
Once you accept yourself, baby, I used to beat myself up about a lot of stuff, right? And I said, you know what? I heard this song by The Truth. It's the artist name, The Truth. And the name of the song is Human. And in the song, he says, uh, what does he say? He said, well, I guess I'm just going to deal with my decision. And so a lot of times we do things, and because we compare ourselves to other people, we don't deal with our decisions. We don't accept ourselves because we're so busy trying to be something outside of us. Like the security of who you are, the validation of who you are is you. This is you. No one can replace you. It's not it's not like a job. On a job you can be replaced or you can be positioned in a higher place or whatever like that. But in life, there's only one you. There's only one you that people can experience. Once you are okay with that you, that not the parts of you where you're people pleasing, or the parts of you where you're in competition, or the parts of you where you don't feel whole, or the parts of you where you feel like you're lacking. No, that person that is vulnerable enough to be themselves, just as I am. I am loved just as I am.
It sets
Stretch
you free.
marks, look, stretch marks. Some people say overweight. You know what I'm saying? Whatever my I am, or whatever people may critique about me, I'm good with me. You
Yeah,
know,
it
I'm good with
gives you
me.
freedom.
My life, my overeating was because I didn't feel like I was being seen. My undereating was because I was in competition with people. Okay. My right now is who I am now. I am the fullness of Latiska. I'm not overeating. I'm not undereating. I'm getting the right amount of exercise. You know, I'm doing more for me than I've ever done in my whole entire life. And I am so freaking grateful for this experience of life, to be comfortable in my own skin, to not have to explain myself to anybody, to not have to have conversations with closed-minded people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can choose what I talk, who I talk to, and it's. I used to have in my 20s. I used to tell people I had 5 friends. I had a friend I talked to my finances about. I had a friend I talked to my children about. I had a friend I talked about my personal stuff. I had a friend about relationship. So I had 5 friends back in the day. I didn't even know my best friend was the girl I looked at in the mirror. That was back in the day. I had all these people outside of me, and then I would get mad when it would be drama. I can't believe she said such and such and such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know to pick up a pen. I didn't know to get quiet. I didn't know to have that Sabbath day and choose a day to reevaluate how I was showing up in the world. I didn't know any of these things. And so to help somebody earlier on to make these choices, to make these decisions, to stand in the mirror, to get comfortable with what you see, to be okay with who you are, know that you're still growing, that life is not over. You got to know the dream has not ended. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and you will always become more.
And that's the best part of everything, is because we are always growing and evolving. We're just getting better and better in each and every way. And you said a lot. And to have the confidence to show up as you who you are, and to allow yourself to be the light for someone who is like just behind you, taking unsteady steps to show up, is a good thing. And it makes you feel good. And being you sets you free to be all of you and all that you came here to be, because you don't have to worry about comparing yourself to the next person, or being concerned about um, anyone else's opinion, or looking for outside validation. Will they like me? Will they laugh at me? None of those things matter. So we are all here to for someone else. If it's just one person that is tuning in now today, that is, first of all, understanding what is being said here, who is resonating with what is being shared, then that's the purpose for showing up and for walking in your authenticity and for being who you are. And I tried to say a few times, but Latiska was on the road. It sets you free. It makes your life exactly
Oh.
what you're here to be, and to show out and show up in the world as.
And I don't care what your walk of life is. I want you to know the Creator did not exclude anybody. So, whatever your walk is, that is your individual walk on this planet. Be proud of who you are. You know, it's gonna be haters. It's gonna be people that don't like themselves, and that's the truth. Only when you love yourself, you can find love for other people.
Yes.
Now, when you have issues going on inside of you, it'll be always something about her I just don't like. Or it's, I don't know what it is about that person. You're just not on that vibe. That's because you're not balanced, you're not whole, and you have issues going on within yourself. You're still arguing and fussing and tearing yourself down. So it's going to be so easy for you to do it for somebody else. Easy. But when you find all of those things and you fill yourself up with, I love you, I care about you. Oh, you need to get some rest. Let me just sit down for 2 minutes. And just pampering yourself because we're so used to pampering other people.
Yes. Those are just character, I won't really say defects, but like I was talking last week about peeling back the layers of the onion and how we have to peel away the different things. And I was thinking about this today because the Passover season is coming up next week. And we all remember, and actually, the topic that I kept hearing over and over all day is let my people go. And so during that Passover time, the Israelites were slaves in bondage in Egypt. And the Egyptian Pharaoh had the people just under hard labor and um, rigor times. So when I look at Let My People Go and the Passover today, I think about releasing the character flaws, the things that keep us in bondage, that keep us feeling like slaves, that make us feel like we don't have power. So when we stop lying, we stop cheating, we stop gossiping, we stop being lazy, we stop
And everybody not lazy. I want some of y'all that overwork. I want you to sit down.
yes, and
The
overwork
overworkers, you got to know that you're an overworker. That
that too.
you're just doing stuff.
So again, just let go of the things that do not make you feel good. Set yourself free. This is the time to be free, to be independent, to believe and trust in yourself, and to know that you have everything that you need, and to know that it's you and God working this together. So when you can remove those layers, then you get closer and you grow and you build and you can show up and you can be comfortable in your skin, being who you are, doing what you do, as only you can do it. So, yeah, we're always growing and evolving, and every day we're letting something go. We're setting something free so that we can set ourselves free. Something that was on my mind all day today. And
I think the let my people go for me is more of allowing people to experience life, through their choices and not be such harsh dictators, so ready to condemn or to criticize or to, just say something derogatory, but to have that passion and that compassion for those mistakes that that you had to make to gain the wisdom that you have now. And have that same gift to give someone else.
well, that's letting go of judgment. So we don't have the right to judge anybody because we're all on our own journey, and there is no judge. It's just when, again, the thing doesn't work for you anymore, the thing is holding you bondage, is holding you in slavery to the thoughts, the conditions, the situations. Let yourself free. Let my people go. So, yes,
And,
everybody.
and that is when you set yourself free, you have let the universe go.
Mhm.
Because we're not to judge one thing, not one thing. I remember I was working in the flea market, and this little Baby, I looked down, the little boy standing beside me. And so I said, baby, what you doing right here? He said, my mama went in the bathroom and I saw you standing over here. And I said, you don't just walk off like that. Let me go in here and find your mama, right? So I said, well, you stand right here with this person. I'm finna go in this bathroom. I'm finna find your mama. So I went in there and called her name. She come out fussing at him. But he walked over to somebody he felt he was gonna be. He passed all those people and came straight to me, right? So they walk away. The first thing I heard people doing was, oh, she ought to be ashamed of herself. Not this and oh. Now, if she'd have took him in the bathroom, she ought to be ashamed of herself. You know, whatever her choice or her decision was, it was not going to be good enough. You know, if she's a single person with a child in a flea market, it's only so many choices.
I'd have taken that baby inside with me, done
But
it
do you
many
understand?
times.
I have too, but everybody is not Letiska. Everybody's not Yaminah. You understand what I'm saying? It was a little boy going into a women's restroom, so I kind of could understand her theory, but I could not understand how so many people had something to say.
Well, everybody's always got something to say because they know what is better for you when they know what's better for you. And nobody does. Yeah, I just have to
No,
say that.
the devil's a lie.
The
You know,
devil is definitely a
society.
lie.
I was look, society is a lie. You know, people operate again. I'm gonna keep saying this. People operate from the knowledge in which they have. Till they know better, they're gonna always do what they do. And that's the truth, Ruth. There's nothing around it, there's nothing on the side of that. When you become aware of something different, then you do something different.
You do something different. Yes.
But if it's not in your awareness, if it's not even in your consciousness, anywhere around your consciousness, and you're not even praying for the awareness of it, you ain't got no you got no sense to pray for things, but you ain't got no sense to pray for awareness.
What is awareness, Letiska? Why am I going to pray for awareness? What you talking about, girl?
In your awareness is either the illusion of love or the illusion of something else.
Okay.
In your awareness, you know, Lord, show me the love that is around me right now. That's your awareness. You know, you're feeling in despair, you're feeling like things are falling apart. Lord, show me in this moment right here. Show me your truth. Break every tether, break every illusion
Let my
that
people go.
that is saying there is no love here. Show me the love that is here. That's asking for something. That's really about to receive an overload of something. You about to receive when you get into expanding my mind so that I can see more than I've ever seen before. You're asking, that's something to ask for instead of things.
Hmm.
You know, open my heart. And even if you have to open my heart and turn it to me first, let me love me first, Lord, so that I can love other people first.
So, Letiska, I just got a vision of that little boy running to you because he could see the heart, just the love, just
I don't
pulsating.
know, but girl, I was like this. Why would he run? He done came all the way up the bathroom over there, and he come up, and I looked down, and he just standing. I said, man, what is you doing right now? I was in another store the other day. The little girl came down the aisle there hollering, coming straight to me. And I'm looking, I said, babe, what's wrong with you? She just hollered. I said, babe, I can't hear you. You're going to have to breathe. What's going on? She said, I can't find Mimi. I
Mm.
said, hold on. Let me get up. Let me get up here and let me find Mimi for you, baby. But she was just, and I don't know. You know, I think that's a gift. I know it's a gift. I know it's a gift. So I thank God. Like I sit around, I sit on my porch and birds come to me. All kind of dragonflies fly around me and everybody be like, girl, you all right? I am fine. They not bothering me. Are they bothering you? Are they not bothering me? You know, if a wasp come in my car, I tell them to get out. People laugh because I say, can't be in here. If you want to live, you got to leave. And
Ah,
then fly back out the window. But I understand the presence of God, and I'm not to hurt, harm, or endanger anything on this planet. You know, to the best of my ability, I'm not going to let anything hurt, harm, or endanger me. And at the same time, I'm not going to let my mind put me in the position that I'm not loved at all times and I'm not lovable wherever I am.
Again, it's either love or everything else. It can't be love and all the other.
Yeah. And so now I turned the corner. Child, you know where I'm at now? Oh, I'm still in heaven. I turned the corner and I'm still here. And being aware of that. Lord, keep my mind stayed on thee, that you are omnipresent, omnipotent, all there is. Wherever I am, you are. That is the presence. That is the spoken word. That is the gift. That is what you're saying to the atmosphere, that there is only love here.
So I will just repeat one more time, another week, that the creation formula is first is the thoughts, then comes the word, speaking it into existence, and then come the action that supports the words and the thought. It's a simple process. So, based on what just came out of your mouth, Lord, give me all the things that I need to open up myself to love, to um, evolving and growing. It's about being aware of the thoughts, which then again leads to the action, leads to the word, and then the action, which is creation. And we do manifest every day,
All day.
days, all the
All
time.
day. All day. Baby, you can say it. I'm thirsty. Somebody will give you something. You can be hungry and somebody will call you and say, girl, you want to go out to lunch? Oh, look, I bought a little extra such and such. You want some? And so being aware that your thoughts are heard. He said that which is done secretly will be rewarded outwardly. That's the only thing that we all do that none of us see.
It's
But
like a game of connecting the dots.
yeah,
We
but
look
can
back.
be seen when you are aware of what you're looking for. It can be seen. So it's when you ponder, I would say always ponder about how deep is love. Because I think sometimes we travel on the shallow part of what love is. And I think love is such an abyss. God is so freaking giving. Everything is, and you see from every thought and the things that we manifest and understanding that God is all of that, and God is you and that. And look how giving it is of itself, but how receiving, that's the key. Are we of what God is giving?
That is in direct correlation to awareness, as you've talked about before. You've got to be open and aware, open and allowing.
And knowing this, I want y'all to really understand this part. The universe is only going to give you what you think you're worthy of.
And
Hello, somebody.
you are worthy of everything. So the devil is a lie when you have those thoughts saying, I don't deserve this. You deserve it all.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve everything. But you're only going to get what you think about,
Mm-hmm.
what you then say, and then what you act on. It's just the way it is. You will and or you will not. It just depends on you and the choices that you're making and the thoughts that you're having. So awareness is so very important.
And you have to understand that your thoughts are connected to beliefs that may be core beliefs that may not even be your beliefs.
And
And
then
until you release And until you release all those limiting beliefs, because there is no limit in you, there's no limit in God, there's no limit in us. Until you find out what the core belief is and why you believe the thing that you believe and release it, give it back to whoever gave it to you. I don't know how you're going to do it.
let my people go.
Okay.
Let those limiting beliefs go
Go. because worthy, like we sing songs about God. God is worthy. God is holy. God is all of these things. But until you can see yourself and value yourself the same way that you value God, if you keep separating yourself from the spirit that you are in, you are the vessel that's carrying that same spirit. And if you're saying that it's a part of you is worthy, but it's another part of you that you're judging that's not good enough yet, that means you are
Separation.
not truly connected
Separation.
to the presence of the oneness of that we are with God. We are one with the Creator, not somewhere else. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at the presence of God manifested in flesh. Though your mama didn't tell you, your grandmama didn't tell you, your auntie didn't tell you, school teacher didn't tell you, pastor didn't tell you, probably didn't know. But when you know, you help other people see the beauty of who they are. That's the gift, to show you who you are.
Looking through the eyes of God. And the eyes are a window to the soul, and everything's connected. And when you can look you eye to eye in the mirror and recognize, understand, remember who you are at your deepest core. So we'll go
Yeah. I
on
know.
this
We love
journey.
you guys.
Remember that you are. So couldn't read all these comments, but everyone, thank you for tuning in. I pray that we have touched somebody's spirit in some kind of a way. And
Amen.
we thank you for tuning in.
We do. We do appreciate each and every person that showed up to listen to the Spirit's talk. I love you, Yaminah.